Hey guys, a couple of weeks ago, I posted a casting call on Casting Call Club. It was basically a voice acting talent show. I randomly generated 5 characters and gave each character one decently sized line. The characters are genderless, ageless, and nameless. I told the voice actors they could do whatever they wanted, as long as they stayed true to the character. So, let's see how they did. Alright, let's get right back into it with our 4th character, which is the nervous innkeeper. You're the keeper of a very well-established inn, but sadly, you have social anxiety and have trouble speaking to people. Starting us off is AMikeForYou.
Oh, hello, and welcome to my inn. We have many, rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Ah, yes, that will be, 3 golds a night. Please enjoy your sleep here and stay well. Never mind. Oh, hello, and welcome to my inn. We have many, beds. Rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Ah, yes, that would be, 3 gold a night. Please enjoy your sleep here and stay well. Never mind.
I didn't think that this one was too bad. I think it just really lacked a couple elements that would have made it a lot better. Like, I think it could have had a little bit more emotion into it. And I think the way that he emphasized things could have definitely been tweaked to be a bit better. And it also didn't help because he had a lot of technical issues with his audio, where he was clipping a bit and he was getting all those plosives in there. So, with all of that in there, even though it was a relatively good audition, I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8 out of 14. And next we have Piper 1 again.
Oh, hello. Welcome to my inn. We have many, beds. Rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Ah, yes, that will be, 3 gold a night. Please enjoy your sleep here and stay well. Never mind.
I think that he really nailed some of the intricate emotions that were going into this. I like the way that he kept fluctuating back and forth between different emotions. And I think he really nailed the never mind at the end to really just represent that he was just so done with it. I would have preferred a little bit better audio quality, so that leaves me to giving this one a 13 out of 14. Next is Entercreativeusernamehere.
Oh, hello, and welcome to my inn. We have many, beds, rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Ah, yes, that'll be, 3 gold a night. Please enjoy your sleep here and stay well. Never mind.
So, looking past the obviously not great audio quality, you can tell that there are some good emotions in there. I think they just had a hard time, speaking up maybe, because speaking up really is important to actually acting. You have to be able to project when you're talking. I know what it's like to not want to have people hearing you talk to yourself or anything like that, but it is really important to be able to project while you're acting. Sometimes you even have to talk louder than you're normally used to, just to get it to sound more natural and a lot better. I could, however, tell that they were able to get into character a little bit, but it was still very difficult to pick up a character when there weren't a whole lot of emotions going on, and there were some kind of issues with how they were saying words. They made it kind of sound a little awkward and like they weren't really sure what inflection to do with what word. But other than all of that, it was okay. It was a good start. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 6 out of 14. Alright, here's JSP_voice again.
Oh, hello, and welcome to my inn. We have many, beds. Rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Yes, that would be, 3 gold a night. Please enjoy your sleep here and stay well. Never mind.
So with this one, it may or may not be noticeable, especially depending on what sort of headphones you're wearing, but there are a little bit of these weird distortions in his voice that you might not be able to pick up on. I'm not sure. I'm using like professional headphones to listen to these, so I might hear things that you may not. But because I do hear that, it is a bit of an issue. However, I liked the audition. I would have preferred a bit more emotion, much like I usually do, because it felt like he couldn't really get into the character very well, so I wasn't really believing it very much. I did think it was fairly good though. I feel like if I could work with him, that I would be able to get what I needed out of him. Like, I don't feel like it would be that hard, but this just wasn't really enough. So I'm gonna give this an 11. Alright, and here is Daniel Alexander again.
Hey, welcome to my inn. A room? We have a lot of rooms. Very clean. I mean dirty. I mean clean. A clean room. We have a special on clams in the lobby. I mean a kitchen. I'm sorry. I'm not used to being at the front desk. You're kind of scary. It's not like the place. No, the place is not scary. I'm sorry.
So personally, I think this is the best one that he did. I think he really got into the character, even though he slipped up a couple of times and wasn't really sure what he was gonna say next. But it seemed like the most coherent of all of them, especially of his improv. So I really did feel the character, and I felt the right emotions that he was going for. It was a little quiet, and there was still a lot of background noise. So because of that, I'm just gonna give it a 9. Alright, and here we have McHawkthorn again.
Oh, hello, and welcome to my inn. We have many rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Yes, that will be 3 gold a night. All right, thank you. Please enjoy your sleep here and stay well. Sleep well and stay here. Never mind.
With this one, I think he had some really interesting choice of inflections for some things. Like when he was saying rooms with beds in them. I think that was really a great choice to be able to emphasize the nervousness of the character, and he kind of carried that throughout the entire audition, which I really like the consistency. He really had great emotional expression to it. I really like hearing everyone's interpretation of how they should say the ending, never mind. It's really just an amazing way to see how people are doing the character differently. But anyway, this was a great audition. I think I just would have preferred a little bit more of like nervous tics in it, but maybe that's a little subjective. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 13 though. Alright, and we've got Nathan Wagner back for this one. Nathan actually had 2 this time, so I'm gonna go ahead and just let you listen to both of them, and then I'll give you my opinion on both of them at the same time.
Oh, hello, welcome to my inn. We have many, beds, rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Yes, there will be, 3 gold a night. Yes, please enjoy your sleep here and stay well. Just, never mind, forget it, stupid!
Oh, hello, welcome to my inn. We have many beds, many rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Yes, that will be 3 gold a night. Please enjoy your sleep here and stay well. Please enjoy your, never mind.
So obviously, I think both of them are amazing. I think some of them had their negatives and their positives, but overall, I think that they were just really good. I like the element of humor that was added into the last bit of the first one, where the character lost his composure with everything. I really appreciate his ability to kind of just mold the character into a way that really fits the character that he's trying to portray, and it's always in a way that I'm not expecting him to take. And I think with the second one, I think that the voice that he chose for the second one is more like what you would think for this type of character. And honestly, I'm not sure which one I like more. It would really just depend on which type of character I would be needing for the certain role that I'm looking for. And that's why it's all up to subjective at that point. That's why I'm trying to judge these as if they are not as subjective, because different people could want different things for the same role. So I don't want to be closed-minded when judging these. And of course, like with his other ones, there was some audio issues, but I mean, who cares? They were great anyway, so obviously they're gonna get a 13 out of 14 again. Moving on to Joan Florence voices. Sorry if I didn't say that right.
Oh, hello. Hello. And welcome to my inn. We have many beds and rooms with beds with them sleeping. Yes, that'll be 3 gold. 3 gold a night. Yeah. Please enjoy your sleep here. Stay. Well, never mind.
Hearing this and realizing that he didn't do any other auditions makes me really sad, actually, because I think that this was really great. Maybe he's only really good at these kinds of characters, which is fine, but I really would have liked to have seen what he would have done for the other ones. I think he really got into the character, and he just had those like good emotions, all those like extra stutterings and all those extra noises. All of that just adds to the believability of the character that you're listening to. I think the audio quality was amazing. There's not really much to say about it because it was just good and I can't critique it at all. I think my only one critique about this is that maybe he should have toned it down a little bit with the excessive stuttering, kind of. Because at some point it was kind of just like, alright, well, let's just kind of get on with it a bit more. But I mean, it's such a minor flaw and something that I could totally work with if I needed to. Be like, hey, just don't do that as much. But since this one is so amazing, I decided to give it a 13.5. Alright, and having Matt Evers end us off with this bracket.
Oh, hello, and welcome to my inn. We have many beds, rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Yes, that will be 3 gold a night. Please enjoy your sleep here and stay, well, never mind.
So I don't know if you could hear, but there were audible breaths in there that shouldn't be there, and it was a tad quiet. But other than that, the audio quality is just fine. When it came to the actual acting, it felt like he just didn't have the right energy level for this one. It felt like he just had a hard time actually getting into character, so it was really hard to just believe it. Like, I didn't get that he was nervous so much, which was a very key part of the actual character. This was kind of just like a normal innkeeper. But I mean, other than that, he had good dialogue fluidity and good inflections on most of it. I just think that the emotions were kind of off on this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 11 out of 14. Alright, let's see if I did any better than you guys. Oh, hello. And welcome to my inn. We have many, beds? Rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Yes, that will be, 3 gold a night. Please enjoy your sleep and stay well. Never mind. Finally, one of my auditions that I actually like. I think I do well with the very nervous characters. Maybe I should really try and branch out from that, though. There is much more to life than just playing nervous characters, though. Alright, we are down to our final character, which is the Temperamental Demon. You're an almighty demon that occasionally makes deals with humans, but you've got some anger issues. And we're starting with ReshaneF. Sorry, I still don't know how to say it.
Alright!
Oh, I forgot how loud that is.
Let me get this straight. You summoned me from a book you had to travel hundreds of miles to find, and you're telling me in all that time you couldn't think of one thing you wanted to ask for.
So because it is so loud, a lot of the time it is clipping the audio a bit. But I mean, hey, at least it's not too quiet, right? So looking past audio issues with this audition, what was good about it? I think he did really good with his energy levels and kind of getting into the character. I think he could have had more emphasis and more emotion put into his words. It was a little lackluster and kind of just flat, but there were some good basic emotions, and it's not like any of the wording was kind of awkward. I think it sounded fairly natural, it just wasn't very exciting to listen to. So with that in mind, I went ahead and gave it a 10 out of 14. Alright, and Daniel's up again.
Alright, let me just get this straight. You summoned me from a book you traveled 100,000 miles to find. And you're telling me that all that time you couldn't think of one thing to ask for. Then name something from the Bible that you don't want nobody to know that you want to do, and do it. There's the little kids, there's friends and family, there's that girl you never met, the girl you never screwed in high school. There's so much things you could have named. I'm going to leave. Your soul ain't even friggin' worth it!
I feel like with this audition, if he had maybe ended it like 30 seconds earlier, I would have given him a better score. Here's why I didn't. So first off, the audio quality is still garbage. There's still so much background noise, and it's just very distorted and not very clean. Second of all, the actual acting, it is just so obvious that he's making shit up as he goes. Like, at no point should it sound like you don't know what you're gonna say next. Even when you're reading a line where the character doesn't know what they're gonna say next. Another problem that I found with his audition for this one, and it's a common one that a lot of new people do, it's the yelling but not yelling. The quiet yelling. The, I'm gonna get you! Or whatever, something like that. You're not actually yelling, and it just sounds awkward. It would just be much better to just, like raise the volume a little bit and actually project like, I'm gonna get you! It's completely different. And it would have been fine if maybe he did it 1 or 2 times. But it was like pretty much the second half of his audition was basically just that. And about like the middle of his audition, he was like raising the volume and doing it very well. He was doing great with emphasizing the one. But then he just let it all fall and then started doing the quiet yelling. So with all the issues I had with this one, I went ahead and gave it a 6. I think he really could have benefited from cutting off the last half of his audition and really just nailing that last line with the correct amount of intensity. It would have been great. Alright, and here we have Nathan.
Let me get this straight. You summoned me from a book you had to travel hundreds of miles to find. And you're telling me in all that time that you couldn't think of one thing you wanted to ask for?
This one is just so phenomenal. It has such great progression to it. It has such build up, and you hear the slight amount of restraint in it as he's working up to the build up, as if he's trying to keep from exploding, but then just lets it all out at the end. The only main issue with that is that it does end up clipping the audio a bit. That's something that you have to be very careful with when it comes to yelling. But other than that, I think the emotions were spot on. I think it was really great the way that he built it up, and just the way that he let the dialogue just flow, and just seems so effortless. I wish I could give this a higher rating, but sadly, with the clipping of the audio, I have to give it a 13 out of 14. And next is Slimjay.
What do you mean I look too young? I'll have you know I'm old enough to be your great-great-grandfather. Alright, let me get this straight. You summoned me from a book you had to travel hundreds of miles to find, and you're telling me in all that time you couldn't think of one thing you wanted to ask for? Oh, this is just great. Let me ask you something. What did you think would happen after performing the ritual? Do you think I would just come in and give you a present or something? Grant you some sort of unimaginable power and poof, just disappear and let you be on your way? You've got a lot of nerve.
Ah, yes, the trope of a demon looking a lot younger than they actually appear. I love it. And this is what I meant earlier with, if you're gonna add lines, you gotta make sure you know what you're gonna say. I know that I'm praising them quite a bit, but actually, this audition was a little lackluster because he really needed to be projecting a bit more, and he needed to be putting more emphasis in his words and getting more emotional expressions into it. Maybe he was going for a bit more of a cool type character, but that's not what I asked for. But despite that, I think it had some good backbone to it, so I'll go ahead and just give it an 8 out of 14. Alright, and one last time, McHawkthorn.
Alright, let me get this straight. You summoned me from a book you had to travel hundreds of miles to find, and you're telling me, in all that time, you couldn't think of one single thing you wanted to ask for?
I am so jealous of male voice actors that can just do really gravelly voices. I would love to be able to do that stuff. But sadly, I just have to live vicariously through you guys. This audition was borderline perfect. It had great progression, the emotions were flawless. Sadly, it had one fatal flaw, and it's one that we've seen kind of before. He'd really just dropped the volume right at the most crucial point. And maybe just something that you could overlook. Maybe, I don't know. But it really just kind of left me a little disappointed because he kind of just built up and I was ready for that last hurrah. But then it just kind of fell flat and I was left a little disappointed. But I don't want to be too harsh just because of that, because overall it was so amazing. But because of that one little flaw, I'm gonna have to give it a 13 out of 14. And now we have TheSparkledash.
Alright, let me get this straight. You summoned me from a book you had to travel hundreds of miles to find, and you're telling me, in all that time, you couldn't think of a single thing you wanted to ask for?
So for this one, I would have preferred a bit better audio quality, but it's not terrible. There's no horrible background noises. There's no distortion that I can hear. It's just not very crisp or very clean. But when it comes to the acting, you can tell that there is some knowledge of acting in all this. And there is some good emotion in it, and some good inflections. I just think a lot of it doesn't really come together very well. I think it just needs a little bit extra to really pull it all together and make it feel more genuine. Because I'm just not feeling a very natural character in all of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 9.5 out of 14. Alright, and here's Piper 1's last audition.
Alright, let me get this straight. You summoned me from a book you had to travel hundreds of miles to find, and you're telling me, in all that time, you couldn't think of one thing you wanted to ask for?
I felt that this one needed a little bit more anger in it, because I feel like it could have just used a bit extra emotion to it and a bit extra emphasis. Because with it all just seems to be one consistent emotion throughout, and there's really no build-up. Which is kind of what the line is insinuating, that there is a build-up. But with this one, I didn't really get that. But other than that, it does have the basic emotions for it. It just kind of doesn't have very much complexity to it. So I'm just gonna give this one a 12.5 out of 14. Alright, and the last audition we have is from Matt.
Alright, let me get this straight. You summoned me from a book you had to travel hundreds of miles to find, and you're telling me, in all that time, you couldn't think of one thing you wanted to ask for?
Honestly, I think he really nailed it. I think how he started it with the, alright, I think that was like my favorite part. Cause like no one else really did that. You could just tell that there was emphasis on it. And that there was like a previous conversation that was going on to really just tick this person off. And you can immediately tell that they are irritated. It just sets up the entire scene for the rest of the line. And throughout it, he keeps the progression and the buildup of the anger just very consistent. And his audio quality was good. I didn't hear any extra breaths in there that weren't supposed to be there. It was a tad quiet. I would have preferred a little bit more crisp of audio. But I mean, other than that, I think it was pretty damn good. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him a 13.5 out of 14. Alright, what did I do for this character? Alright, let me get this straight. You summoned me from a book you had to travel hundreds of miles to find, and you're telling me, in all that time, you couldn't think of one thing you wanted to ask for? Look at me with that weak sauce energy, oh my god. I am so not the type of person to just yell. Like, I'm really not there in my, comfort zone. So it is always a struggle to, raise my voice. Especially when I'm worried about my neighbors getting angry at me. I think one really important thing that I have learned through this is that I really need to take time to slow down my wording sometimes. Because I really don't spend a whole lot of time emphasizing things with using pauses. Pauses can be very important. And I don't know why I keep neglecting to use them. So that'll be something that I definitely have to remember when doing more acting later on. Is the importance of pauses. Well, I hope you all have learned a little bit something about your acting styles, or maybe even other people's acting styles. There's definitely a lot that we can learn by watching other people and by challenging ourselves. So if anyone might be interested in doing something like this in the future, please let me know, because I do have ideas to do more stuff like this. Maybe even doing sort of themes for it. I have considered that. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see what I can do. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you soon. Alright, I just couldn't stand letting you guys show me up like this, so I had to retry it. Time for redemption. The chief told me this is my last chance to prove myself, or I can kiss my badge goodbye. Now, I know I have a job to do, but once I've caught the infamous badger thief, let's you and I grab a coffee together. Adventurer! Ah, yes, you. The one with the big bag to carry many items. Perhaps I could interest you in a flopsy sock? A gobble-ghoul? A whoosy-what's-it? Wait! Where are you going? I have much more to show you! Ugh, you again. When are you going to realize we're not friends? You're so annoying. Hey! Wait, are you crying? Oh, crap. I didn't mean to make you cry. Now I feel bad. This is all your fault for being so friendly. Hello, and, welcome to my inn. We have many, beds? I mean, rooms with beds in them for sleeping. Yes, that will be, 3 gold a night. Please enjoy your sleep here and stay well. Never mind. Alright, let me get this straight. You summoned me from a book you had to travel hundreds of miles to find. And you're telling me, in all that time, you couldn't think of one thing you wanted to ask for. Personally, I think they sound a lot better this way. But hey, that's just my opinion. Hey everybody, welcome to the end of the video. If any of you made it here, I would be quite surprised. But I would also be very happy as well. I went through a lot of trouble to make this video, and it's not like I'm saying, oh, I deserve praise for it, because I did this because I wanted to. But it would really make me happy if I knew that other people were happy to see this. So I mean, if you made it to the end of this video, it has to say something about you liking it. So, for that, thank you. I think you're pretty great for that. I'm not sure how soon I will be doing another video like this, but I totally haven't ruled it out for the future either. Right now, I want to start working on audio roleplays, so if anyone is interested in being a part of those, really you should follow me on Twitter, because I will keep you posted about it, and I will hold auditions for different roles. So, if you are interested in that at all, go ahead and follow me, okay? And I really want to thank each and every one of the voice actors that did this, because I really wouldn't have been able to make this video by myself. I mean, I could have tried, but I think it really would have not been as fun. Alright, I'm ending the video now. Thanks guys, bye!